Right, well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our collective worship for today. And as I was just saying to the other children, it's been a bit of a damp, miserable day today, and a bit chilly too. Hopefully, we'll see a bit more of an improvement tomorrow. Hope you've all had fun with your home learning at the moment. Again, some really lovely submissions, and there's been some lovely things put up on our social media of all the wonderful things you've been doing at home, particularly some lovely geography projects as well. Looking at zones of I think to do with the weather climate, zones of climates. That's been really good. So today, though, it's our collective worship, and I'll start as I always do by sharing the screen. So bear with me. Sharing the screen. There we go. There we go. So today we'll start as we always do with lighting of the three candles. So we light these candles in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Now today for our collective worship, we'll be thinking about, so yesterday we talked a little bit about hope, and today we're going to be thinking a little bit about respect, and more importantly, who do we respect? And people who help us earn our respect and how they do that and why they do that. So that's what we're looking at today in our collective worship. Now, if we start, I've got some pictures up here of some people from our community. And so obviously we've got the police, we've got nurses and doctors from the NHS, we've got a local vicar or a priest, and obviously we have Father Graham for our school. We've got a paramedic, got a class teacher, and we also have a firefighter as well. So these are all obviously jobs that are out there, and as part of these jobs, all of these people sort of earn our respect by the jobs that they do. Now, if we think about the police, for example, the police are in our communities and they're keeping us safe. They're keeping us keeping things legal, making sure that any disagreements are sorted out. They're helping us out with any problems that we might be having, and as their role, also they're sorting out any disagreements and putting themselves at risk by putting them by being out in the community and sorting issues out. And they earn our respect by the jobs that they do and the things that they do to help us and help our communities be safe. And obviously, when we think about these, in particular the NHS workers at the moment, and obviously our thoughts are with them all at this moment in time, because obviously they are the front line when they're dealing with COVID and coronavirus. They are out there keeping everybody as safe as possible, treating those that are sick, putting themselves at risk by helping those people. So, and I remember back in the first lockdown, obviously we were giving them a round of applause every evening, showing our respect for the fact that they are doing the job that they are doing. And it's a huge achievement and with what they're doing. And so that's how they earn our respect. For people who are Christians and visit the churches, obviously a position of the vicar obviously is out in the community, helping support the community. And today Father Graham came and collected loads of food for the food bank from the school, which he's taken down to the food bank. So again, helping with the community, and as a result, people look up and respect them as people in our community that are helping us. And obviously we've got paramedics again. They are particularly on the front line at the moment when it comes to dealing with coronavirus, and also, but all the other things that they do, they put themselves at the front line, helping to make us better, to make sure that we get to the right places, to make sure we get there safely, treating us when we can't get to hospital. So they're doing lots of things again. One of those things that we look and we respect them for what they are doing. Obviously teachers again, your teachers in this school, teachers around the country are having to redefine the way that they work, having to do lots of different ways, trying to help support you with your learning, making you think about things differently. And obviously your parents are working alongside all of that as well. So again, these people deserve your respect because of the things that they are doing to help you, to support you, to enable you to be better at the different things that you want to achieve. So they deserve our respect as well. And obviously firefighters in particular, again, these people are there fighting fires, saving people, saving lives, really sort of out there to make sure that our communities are kept safe and that we are kept safe as well. And again, these people deserve the respect that they do, and they earn it by the jobs that they do. And that's really an obvious thing to think about with these people, that these people are out there doing these jobs and earning our respect. But obviously there are lots of different roles within the community, and although some people might not be saving lives, that doesn't mean that their roles are less important or we should respect them less because of what they do. And when I think about that, I think about the people that are cleaners and in the hospitals, and I think about cleaners that are in our school even. These people, again, without them doing the work that they're doing, keeping our schools and our hospitals clean, making sure that the virus is kept away as much as possible, these people are ensuring that our environment is safe for us to be in. And again, it's behind the scenes. You don't, and we don't see them out there doing the job that they're doing. They're behind the scenes, and as a result, they deserve our respect. And it's a job that not everybody is cut out to do, and everybody would want to do. But from that perspective, we need to make sure that they get the respect that they deserve as well, because they're stopping us from becoming sick. And obviously, along with those sorts of jobs, there are jobs that are unpopular. But obviously, these jobs have to be done by somebody. And when I think about that, we think about this person who sometimes I see at the school gates. And obviously, his job is to go around basically giving people tickets and finding you for your parking. And I know lots of times where people have got tickets, and I've had a parking ticket myself at one time or another, and how annoying it can be that I've got a ticket. But the bottom line is their job is to keep things safe. And obviously when they're here at school, they are out there to make sure cars are parked in the right place, so that you children, when you walk to school or cycle to school or scooter to school, are kept safe. And so although it's an unpopular job, it's something that we need to bear in mind, and also to think that actually we do need to respect them too, because obviously they are keeping our roads from being dangerous places for us. And particularly, when you think about parking in front of houses where ambulances need to get to and things like that, it's really important at this time that these things are done, and they are the ones that are out there making sure that our roads are safe. So that is really what I want to think about, because when I was thinking about unpopular jobs, and I was thinking about a job of a tax collector. Now, again, it's a job that you don't really see very much out there as a person, but the job of a tax collector is basically another unpopular job, because as an adult myself and a wage earner, I have to give proportions of my salary, the wages that I earn for the job that I do, I have to give a proportion of it away to the government, and that's called a tax. And lots of your parents will be doing that, and grandparents, and even maybe older brothers and sisters that have jobs will be having to give away some of their salaries or money to the government as part of a tax. And it is one of those things that you get a bit annoyed about, a bit like a parking ticket. But obviously without that money, things such as schools and hospitals and the NHS wouldn't be able to function, because that's where the tax goes in the most part, to those sorts of areas, so of schools and hospitals. Now, when we think about tax collectors, back when Jesus was alive, tax collectors were especially unpopular, because back then they were seen as dishonest people. Because sometimes what they would do is they would be told to charge you a tax for your maybe your farm or your animals that you had, and they would always add a little bit extra on, and they would take that money for themselves. So they were always seen as sort of really sort of dishonest kind of people, and as a result, in society, they were kind of cast out or outcasts. They were on the edge of society, and people didn't really want to talk to them and didn't like to speak to them. And obviously they were kind of looked down upon because of the job that they did. And it really wasn't a nice position to be in. And when we think about that, I'm sure there are times at school where you felt like that, where you felt maybe an outcast. Maybe if your friends have not included you into a game, or had a fight with you and won't talk to you. Now, the interesting thing about it is what was good about Jesus, and at this time, is when he went around, he didn't consider that anybody, and it's quite a nice idea, is that anyone as an outcast. He wanted everyone to feel wanted and feel loved. And, whether you are a Christian or not, it's quite a nice value to take on board, is the fact that actually it doesn't matter who you are and what you do. You should feel wanted and loved. So as a traffic warden, just because that's my job, you shouldn't hate me any the less because of my job, because I'm still a human and I'm still worthy of love and to feel wanted. And there was a story back in the New Testament of how Matthew, one of Jesus's disciples, became a disciple, and it was really focused around that. Now, in the story starts with Jesus walking along with some of his friends. Here, he was walking along with some of his friends, and he saw a tax collector, Matthew the tax collector, doing his job. Now, Jesus was walking along. He decided that he was going to go over and see him. Now, as you can see from his friends, they were very dismissive. Oh, you don't want to go over there. Why would you want to go over there? Look at him. He's just a tax collector. We know we don't like tax collectors. But anyway, after all that, Jesus did decide to go over and speak to Matthew. And when he went over to Matthew and he spoke to him into his collector's booth where he was collecting all the money, he asked Matthew to come and follow him. And learn from him. Now, at that point, Matthew had to finish up his job, but what he did do is he invited Jesus to come round and have dinner at his house. So that's just what he did. So Jesus went round to Matthew's house, and at Matthew's house were other tax collectors and other sinners, as it was what they were called, but other outcasts from society, people that other people didn't really like or didn't want to talk to. So Jesus went to Matthew's house and had dinner. And obviously you can see they're having a lovely time telling stories. And obviously Jesus was able to talk about some of his journeys. Anyway, there was a knock on the door, and then turned up were the Pharisees. These Pharisees were people who followed God and sort of didn't really agree with what Jesus was doing. They sort of said, well, why would you want to mix with these sinners, these tax collectors, these people who aren't very nice in society? Why would you want to mix with them? But then obviously Jesus stopped and heard what these Pharisees said, and he walked over to them and he said this message. He said, it's not healthy. Is it not healthy who need a doctor, but the sick? Go learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice, for I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Now, with that, what he was talking about was this idea that actually, nobody is sick. We're all healthy, and we all need love and affection to help us. And obviously, we shouldn't be judging people by the things that they do. Just try and help them. And that was the message. So it's the idea that it doesn't matter what you do, we need to respect everybody the way that we would want to be respected ourselves. And that's quite an important message with lots of people that we deal with. And after that, Jesus went to Matthew and asked him to follow him, to be a helper, to help him and be a friend to him. And as a result, Matthew went back and paid back all the money he'd stolen from people, and he had a chance to start again. And as a result, Jesus said that he always respected people and gave them a second chance. And I think that's a really important message that we can take away, to respect the people and give them a second chance and an opportunity to make better. So when we think about that, it's a bit of time for reflection now. So what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes for a moment, if you can. Think about what it feels to be an outcast. And then think about the fact that Jesus said that everyone should be included and respected and loved, whoever they are or whatever job they do. And with that in mind, think about the respect that you need to, or what you can do to show respect for other people. And whilst your eyes are closed, we'll finish with a prayer. Dear God, help us to love everyone, whoever they are. Help us to include everyone in the things that we do, and help us to be thankful for the people who help us. Help us always to treat people with respect. Amen. So I'll just stop sharing for a second. So again, whether you're a Christian or any other belief, the idea that we should respect people is obviously a fundamental thing that we would all like to think that happens. To respect people for whoever they are, whatever they do, it's important that we respect them. So that's the end of our collective worship for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back tomorrow with another collective worship. Have a lovely afternoon and evening, and good luck with all your remote learning tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing some more of your amazing work uploaded up onto our social media. So take care, everyone. Good to see you all, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.